in short, the STVA likely failed, but is clearly missing from a previous owner. Even the butterflies themselves have been removed. So I was going to try and get the shaft out at some point, but given that I'm in here doing the seafoam and the spark plugs and everything, I'm going to take a crack at it, see if I can't remove it. So it wasn't hard at all. It just had a C-clip, or whatever you want to call it, and then a washer. And now I'm going to try pulling it out the other end. So I've been struggling to get the secondary throttle shaft out, and I finally figured out why. Basically, I checked the manual, and as far as disassembly, it just says, don't do that, and so it doesn't actually tell you how to remove this. I noticed that if you peel this up, that you can see a spring in there, and you can't see it on the camera there, or I doubt it, but it has something similar to the C-clip here of holding it in, and so the spring in here also has that C-clip and is holding the shaft in. So it looks like to properly remove it, you have to take the throttle body apart to get that off. But I'm not going to do that, so I've just been trying to pry at it. But if push comes to shove, I might just Dremel right through this and pull the shaft out either end. So, well, that actually went really well. I got the C-clip out from under the rubber there, holding it in. And it only took me like 60 seconds at most. I think I got lucky, really. So once more, I just got the C-clip out of here, and now it's finally starting to budge. It's coming out. So no matter how much whacking I did with my mallet on that end, it just wouldn't budge. So yeah, it was just that little C-clip. How funny is that? So just noting another part, now that the shaft is starting to move through, I noticed this end had a grommet here. So make sure that you're checking all your holes and getting every little piece, because you don't want a grommet or something falling down into your intake, so just be aware. Wow, I am just ecstatic of how well that went. Basically, there was the C-clip at the end, on the far end where the STVA was. There was a C-clip in the middle, and then I just took to whacking the little flange here, whatever you want to call it, but that's all it took, was some wiggling and whacking, and the last little boom. Now your secondary throttle shaft is out. I didn't even have to cut through that or anything, so that'll be good. The only other thing that you need to consider is now that these holes are exposed on either end, and if you had to cut the middle out, obviously the holes here will be exposed, so I would either do JB weld, or what I'm going to try doing is getting a couple more of those black nipples I used on my airbox, and I almost slipped. Anyway, point being is I'm going to try just putting a nipple on it, seeing if I can't get away with that. But the other end doesn't have much of a post sticking out, so I might have to JB weld that one, so we'll see. So I decided what I'm going to be doing with my shaft hole. I'm going to be plugging it nice and deep. So what I got was some set screws here. Where are they? There they are. From Fastenal. They are 1/4 inch 20 threading. And the hole here is 5mm, and 1/4 inch is roughly 6 something millimeters, so it should give me a good size difference there, so I don't have to drill it out. And I got a tap kit and made sure that the 1/4 inch 20 thread is there, so I'll tap it, lather this up with my thread locking lube there, slam it in, and plug up my hole there. And yeah, I'm gonna try it for both sides, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, got it all done up. Just 1/4 inch 20 thread. Let's tap this bitch. So that went really well. As you can see here, I've got some threads now in my hole. And one thing I wanted to mention is, obviously if you're going to be doing this, or if you're tapping anything, you're going to have shreds of metal coming out. So what I did was I grabbed my shop vac there and stuck it over the throttle body hole here. And that way any shreds, any metal dust was vacuumed up right away. And then I stuck the vacuum on the hole here just to get any leftovers. So So again, if you're going to be doing this, just remember not to get metal shreds down into your engine. So I took the center rubber tube off that was holding the shaft in place, and this is the pieces inside for me. So I had a plastic cap here, I guess to help orient the shaft, and then there was a washer, spring washer. Again, I guess to hold the spring in place better, give it a surface to push against, and then the C-clip. We're looking good. Got those bypass caps installed. They were too long, so I ended up cutting them in half and putting a couple gear clamps on there, so you know those aren't going anywhere. It could be said that that's overkill. You know, you can likely just reuse the original rubber tube there, but I want to go the extra mile whenever I do stuff like this. I just want to make sure that it's not going anywhere, you know, no surprises, nothing like that. So, looking good. And I'm done. So I've got my hole here tapped, put the set screw in with some thread locker. I've got the center post bits, like the spring and washers, everything removed, and the bypass nipples in place. They're in there nice secured. The other side's done. There we go. Secondary throttle shaft removed, the hole sealed up again, so there's no crap and little bits getting into the engine. Really pleased with how this turned out.